Hello and welcome to Zen Woman. I'm Kirsty Jones, founder of Zen Woman, and today I'm here to do with you a little ritual that allows you to let go of some of the negative things that you've been holding on to. It's all about replacing it. So we're taking all those negative things that we've been doing and we replace it with something else. So, do you find yourself getting into this negative spiral? So you start thinking about the same old thoughts, the same old traumas going round and round in your mind, the same old habits, and you just don't stop doing it. And you know it's bad, and you know you don't like it, and you know that's not the sort of person that you want to be, but you just get stuck in it. Maybe it's the self-doubt going round and round in your mind. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not worthy. I'm too fat, ugly, lonely, whatever it is that you are. That you think you are, sorry, not what you are. Maybe they go round and round in your brain. Maybe you think that you're not nice enough to others, or maybe you're not being nice enough to others, and you keep finding yourself getting into that negative spiral. Maybe you're not being the best version of yourself. So do you find yourself, you want to be a positive person, or you want to be a really proactive person, but it's just not happening. Yeah, these things happen to all of us at some time, and there's actually the neuroscience behind it. The more often we perform a task, the stronger that pathway in the brain becomes, which means the more naturally and the more easier we go down that path again and again and again. This is how addictions and habits form. It happens positively or negatively. Unfortunately, a lot of the things we reinforce are negative, but we can break it. We just have to get into the subconscious. The conscious mind is 5% of the mind, so willing yourself to change isn't enough. You have to actually repeatedly put in the time and effort to change these patterns. But the good news is, once you start changing them and strengthen the other pathways, the other neurological pathways in the brain, it becomes so easier. It becomes easier and easier every time. So here's a little thing to get us started on really letting go of the things that we don't need to hold on to in our minds anymore. And doing this around the full moon is a brilliant time for that. Full moon is a great time for letting go of things that no longer serve us. So for your ritual, you are going to need a piece of paper, some pens, and some paints, and if you want glitter, and all the different things that you can use to make something beautiful. So get your equipment. If you need to pause the video, you can do that now. Otherwise, I assume that you've got your equipment ready, and we're going to get on with our little routine. So before we start, what I want you to do is to just close your eyes and just take a few moments to think about all those negative things that you're holding on to right now. All those words that keep popping up, the phrases, the actions, the emotional responses that you're having that are not serving you. Maybe they're things that served you once, but they don't serve you anymore. Doesn't matter. Think about all the things that we're going to need to let go of. And then get your piece of paper. I'm going to move the camera so you can see my piece of paper. Ooh. Okay. So on your piece of paper, you get a pen. This one I'll do. And write down all those things that you were just thinking of. So we can write down self-doubt or whatever works for you. So all of those words that you were saying, all of those sentences. Sorry about the table moving. You should be looking at your own paper right now anyway, so that's fine. And just taking a few moments to write these down. So just keep on writing as they come to you, as everything comes to you. So it can be anything. So I've just put down here that I'm not smart enough. There's a part of me that, thinks I'm not smart enough or not sexy enough. Doesn't matter what woman you are, you often have moments where you think things like that, or I'm not pretty enough, or whatever it is. So writing down all these things that you need to let go, all these thought patterns. Maybe it's even things like too much TV, or laziness, or maybe it's junk food. For me, biscuits. How are you doing? Have you got on a page or some on your page, whatever it is that works for you? So I put on mine that there's self-doubt, that I'm not good enough or not smart enough, or that sometimes I'm snappy or annoying, or that I worry too much, or I watch too much TV. Things that I'd like to stop, things that I'd like to move past. And then we get to have the fun bit. So next we're going to take some paints and we're just going to put them onto the paper. I know it's an odd way of doing it. Normally we're all like, put the paint on the plate, but no. Now obviously you may use a fair bit of paint doing it this way, so you might want to use cheapy paints. These ones are just cheapy kiddies paints. You can use poster paints. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. It doesn't have to be a big deal. Yeah. Trying to use colours that make you feel a bit happier, a bit more positive about things. Okay. And now as you look at all those things that you want to vanish, we're going to paint over it. Not creating art here. We are creating something beautiful, but that beauty is change and development. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. You can do swirly patterns, you can do straight lines, you can mix the paint up anyhow you want. Don't worry if it doesn't work well, don't worry if it doesn't look nice. Covering up those horrible words, those negative things that go through your mind with all this beautiful colour. This colour and this life and this vibrancy, and we're using that to erase those negative thought patterns. If you want to, you can go right to the edges of the pages, or you can just do bits over the words. You can even put pictures on top if you want to use pictures. Painting over and making it beautiful. So I'm just going to put something. Where are you? Here. I have some glitter. So for me, I'm going to put some glitter over this part. And you can use different tools, different things to make different shapes. If you want to, you can start to make some designs in your paint. It's really good for sort of scratching and drawing into when it's thick like this. Okay, so then we can leave that to dry. It's not a piece of art. If you want to, you can come back to that. You can paint over the top of it. You can use it as a background for something, for a piece of art. You can just make a piece of art over the top. The point of this bit, was to just get you covering up all that ickiness. A really good way to finish this off is actually to put positive words on top when it's dry. You can put some pictures of some words of what you want to replace all that negative stuff with. Because sometimes, when you take it away, you've left a gap, and we need to fill that with something more positive. A better pathway of the brain. So then we'll start to write down the opposite things that we do want to be. We want to be more confident, or we want to be smarter, or we want to be fitter, or sleep more, or whatever it is. So that's a good way to finish off. I'm just waiting for this one to dry, so I won't do it, but you can do that. So thank you for watching and listening. I hope you really enjoyed this little creative full moon ritual, and I will see you next time in the next video.